Thank you, Brendan. Lawmakers have begun discussing the future of public education in the state. News 10's Jessica Rajkumar explains the decline in public school attendance and what lawmakers are seeing now. Jess, you've been following this for quite some time.
That's right, Lauren. While we are on the heels of the school choice funding rollout, which focuses on private education, lawmakers are beginning discussions on enrollment rates in public school districts, as well as tracking reading and math levels for students. According to research from policy group Texas 2036, in our region, more than 300 students have left Central Texas public schools in the last year. But this loss is being felt across the state, as Texas public schools lost thousands of public school students in the 2025 to 26 school year compared to the year before. Texas Education Agency head Mike Morath spoke in a House Public Education Committee hearing Monday.
We stand in now the 25-26 school year, which is not yet completed, is a 75,000 or so student decline in enrollment. This is a trend that we heard from our superintendents, our large district superintendents, the first few weeks of the school year this year. I heard anecdotally from this. This showed up in PEIMS data this year.
But wasn't able to provide an exact reason why for this trend.
We are down students, and these are somewhat more accelerated than statewide demographic trends indicated. We cannot tell you the precise cause of this. We just know that it has occurred. This is what has been true over the last school year.
While schools have been seeing enrollment decline, Texas 2036 has seen falling numbers in reading and math, which could contribute to declines in student enrollment.
We've seen a huge decline in the students' ability in this state to read and do math on grade level. And so now we're starting to see more and more Texas families just choose alternative education for their child, in part because of the reading and math declines.
Texas 2036 notes that the state has seen a big decline in Hispanic students in public schools, as well as students who are economically disadvantaged this year. Mary Lynn Prunetta with Texas 2036 says data is not clear on the reason why yet.
Until we have some type of data collection across the state that's better tracking students that are exiting the public school system, we would really have no way of knowing exactly why someone has chosen to leave the public schools.
Connally ISD was noted in the Texas 2036 data as a school district who saw a significant 10% loss, losing 235 students in a year. As for why this is happening, Connally ISD said in a statement that changes in age distribution in the community, as well as increased educational opportunities since the pandemic, are driving numbers lower. When I asked how they plan to retain enrollment numbers, Connally ISD says moving forward, they want to focus on improving and maintaining high quality instruction, working to provide rigorous academic work and extracurricular activities. Texas 2036 does note that these statistics do not include student numbers from after the school choice program began. In studio, Jessica Rajkumar, KWTX News 10.